If you're a stay-at-home mom wondering how women go from this bag to the working bag, well then keep watching, because I'm here to show you how I did it. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say it was an easy thing to do. In fact, it took me a couple months to really decide that this was the next move for my family. It not only took having a very understanding and supportive husband, which thank God I have, but he realizes the importance of having a fully satisfied and happy wife so that I can then, from a full cup, pour into his and Madeline's, and this household can function that much better. No, all jokes aside, I think it's really, really important that you be on the same page on this next step of making that leap from a full-time stay-at-home mom to now working. And it's so funny because at times I felt the greatest joy and excitement for being able to get back into work life. But then I was also plagued by fears. What if I miss her first steps? What if... And you gotta silence that out to be able to make the real leap and feel confident to take the step. If I haven't shared already, I'm a state certified court interpreter for the state of California. I interpret in the Spanish language for defendants, victims, witnesses. I love my job. Needless to say, I was eager to get back to it. Quite frankly, I would do it for free. But don't tell my boss that. Yeah, I love what I do. I come from a household where my mother was the breadwinner. She taught my siblings and I to be independent, hardworking, to strive for whatever it is that we want. And so that's always been a part of me. It's who I am. And not only that, it's who I want Madeline to see in mom. She's only 13 months old right now, but she's growing. And in a blink of an eye, she's gonna be to the age where she knows and can comprehend what mom does for a living, what dad does for a living. And what matters to me is that she know that it's important to make a living, but it's much more important to do something that fills you and to do something that also gives back. That's my driver. I want Madeline to admire mom much like I admire mine. And for that reason, I knew that I was ready to make the leap, but like I shared, that decision came with a flood of emotion. So I reached out to my therapist. I've been working with Iris Person for the past 3 years. She's amazing. You're gonna meet her shortly. I met her initially and we started working on childhood issues. And right after that, I met my husband and we worked on things such as communication styles, trust, building a solid family foundation. And she was with me, of course, throughout my pregnancy. Fortunately, I had her to avoid any postpartum depression. She was amazing at just walking me through the different things because she herself is a mother of 2 and she's a wealth of information. It was really important to me that once I made this decision, I have her knowledge to make it a strong, confident, empowered decision, and that's where I'm at today. Today was day 2 of back at the court for me, so I was driving home and said, that's the video that I need to put out. There are moms out there that need to hear this, and for that reason, I've invited Iris Person to jump on in here with me, and without further ado, here she is. I hope you guys have pen and paper because she's about to drop some nuggets on you. Watch this. Well, I told you guys I had a special treat for you, and here she is. Just so you guys know, let me put this into perspective. There are special women in my life. That's my mom, my mother-in-law, and Iris Person. I am so excited to bring her here today because of the changes she's brought about in my life. So without further ado, Iris Person, and I'm gonna read this part because I don't wanna butcher it. LCSW, private practice, clinical therapist, of person-to-person counseling. She's a university professor. She's a professional recording artist. Her newest release, her album titled Rise. And if that's not impressive enough, she does all of this and she's a mom. So if Iris can do it, she's going to teach us right now how she does it. You guys can do it too. So listen up. We'll want to take notes on this one. Iris, welcome, and thank you for making the time to share the wealth of information that you are with our mamas who are watching.
Oh, wonderful. And thank you so much for having me, Gracie. And hello to everyone, all of you beautiful mothers. And I'm just so glad to be here. Thank you.
As you guys know, and I've shared in the opening of this video, I've decided to go back and join the workforce. And this, fortunately for our family, is by choice, but it was something that I needed to do for me. I felt that after 13 months of motherhood, it was time. It was something that I struggled with initially, and for that reason, I've relied heavily on Iris. She has really helped me in making that transition from motherhood into the work life. So Iris, can you share a little bit about your experience? I know you became a mom early in life and you've
Yeah.
mastered it. So share with us how it's been for you.
Well, thank you for the master label. I don't know if I mastered it, but I've definitely navigated, and like so many mothers, so my husband and I were high school sweethearts, and had our first child at the age of 23. The journey was a little rough. I started with a traumatic birth that I've shared with you.
Yeah.
Emergency, birth trauma story, and both of us survived that, and went through a lot of depression as a result of that, postpartum depression, and with my daughter, again, peripartum and postpartum depression. So I had such a rough pregnancies with both of those, and I was told that I needed to stop right there, after two C-sections. That journey was very challenging, but I have two beautiful blessings today, and was able to get back to work at some point, and people were very supportive of me and very good about believing in me, didn't give up on me. I had a lot of encouragement, my husband being one of those. He was just amazing during that time. So I definitely didn't do it by myself. And just so thankful and grateful, for where I am and where my children are today.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. That's very personal information, and I'm sure a lot of women can relate. I, for one, understand the severity of a traumatic birth
Oh,
because
yeah.
I had
Yeah.
one as well. But anyway, I have tons of questions to ask here, but you mentioned your husband and how important that is. One of my key points in making this transition easier for myself has been that support system. It's entailed by your husband. For me, it's been my boss. I mean, if we take it and break that down, I think in my situation for our family, it's been huge to have someone that understands the value of my happiness and how I too, as a human, need to continue evolving. Like I love my role as a mom, but I was missing something. And for me, I mean, I'm 3 weeks into the workforce. Um, but it's made such a difference in just how I wake up, and I'm excited to get dressed and go to the courts. And I think it's huge to have that support system. So my husband is in charge of dropping Madeline off and getting her ready and bows in the hair and whatnot. I lay out the school outfit, and he preps her and drives her to daycare. And when I get home, it's time to throw on the mommy hat and pick her up and jump back into that mom routine. And it's great. Can you talk a little bit more about how your husband played a key role in you being able to get back to work?
Yes, he was so instrumental. He was very patient. I should say that he's such a patient person
Yeah.
overall. But even during that time, he just didn't pressure me, whether I wanted to stop working, and take time to be at home with my daughter. For example, I stayed home with her and left my job, left all the benefits, left all the, extra.
Yeah, it's hard.
Was so patient with that, and then allowing me to just be free to whenever I was ready, so never pressuring, but always supportive and just like, okay, you want to do that? Yep. you know and so that led to me getting back into actually starting my practice. I'm becoming a recording artist all at the same time during that time, but because of the love, the support, and that he provided, I was able to just relax and be creative and So he definitely was a mommy daddy. Oh, what do you call
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
He was able to, yeah, do the hair and do all the stuff. And he worked as well, but we worked as a team. And I have to say I had a unique story in that because not all people have that story, it can be.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. I would wish this for more moms out there. It's so
Mhm.
crucial to have a team effort in this because
Yeah.
it does take two. Essentially,
Yeah.
you're leaving the home to go work, but when you come back, it's a team effort to
Right.
do this. And
Right. Absolutely.
and also there's the financial aspect of it. That's another thing that I wrote down is like you have to consider that now if you don't have a mom or a
Mhm.
sister who's able to fill in your void while you're at work, then the only other option that I know of is daycare, and daycare
Yeah.
is expensive. So
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
channel is all about saving mommies money and
Yeah.
hacks in motherhood. So one thing
Yeah.
that I did want to bring up is our daycare offered a grant. Unfortunately, we didn't qualify for it, but moms who are listening who are struggling financially, talk to your daycare centers and see if maybe you qualify for that grant and a lowered rate in your daycare. So
Oh,
there's
good
a money saving
information.
tip
Yeah.
there. But back to this support system and the importance of maybe easing your way back into the workforce. I think one of the biggest things that has helped me is I went back as a part-time employee. So I was hired by the courts to work Monday through Friday, but now as a mom, I've spoken to our coordinator for the interpreters division, and she's allowed me to come back part-time and build up to full-time. We'll
Yeah.
see. We'll
Good.
see. Like I
Good.
said, we're
Yeah.
only 3 weeks in, and so far it's working. And it's been great because it's allowed me to adapt to this new schedule and routine, but also I think
Yes.
it's helped Madeline to ease her way into learning new routines and a daycare and getting up at a
Yes.
certain hour. So is
Yes.
there anything that you can speak in regards to that?
Yeah, I think that's so important to make sure that you're being honest and communicating and transparent with everyone,
Yeah.
about what your needs are. And I like that you mentioned about your boss, and the transition time that we need because, you know, it's hard to go from one, thing to the next
Yeah.
without that a smooth transition. And so working your way up to that versus throwing yourself into the frying pan, if you
Mhm.
will, is very important. And then making sure that everybody knows what your needs are and what their expectations of you are, as well as your own expectations, your values, your boundaries,
Yeah.
your wants and needs, so not being afraid to speak about that. And some people, again, we don't want to assume that everybody has that kind of support, but there are ways to kind of navigate around even the situations where you may not have as much support, but I think it is important that you do what is within your control at least to
Yeah.
try to make that make your bosses and everyone aware. For example, even like um, I remember breastfeeding,
Yes.
and needing to a space to pump. I had to ask for that. I had to,
Yeah.
what breaks I would have to be able to do it. Can I use the freezer and
Oh my gosh.
conceal the
Yeah.
the breast milk so no one gets a surprise,
Yeah.
right? So it was just little things like that. What I needed from my husband, and when I came home, going to tour daycares or talking to family members, setting those things up just so that you're not jumping in so quick, into something that you haven't really felt like you
Yeah.
had preparation for. So just giving yourself as much transition as possible and just ease your way in, like you said, with the incremental and gradual, job task and things like that. Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
good.
That's great. I hadn't thought of that until you mentioned the breastfeeding. Fortunately, I'm trying to
Yeah.
wean Madeline off, so that hasn't been a thing for us.
Yeah.
But it's really important that moms who are watching read into those FMLA policies within their
Yeah.
work structure and see what's provided. I know at the courts we do have a designated room for pumping moms.
Mhm.
So and just see
Yeah.
what other options and resources are available to you guys through your place of employment.
Yes.
One other
Yes.
thing, within, oh yeah, societal expectations of ourselves
Mhm.
and also the stereotypes that exist. How would you recommend someone go about like overcoming those when I come from a Hispanic family, and the thought is I would stay home so that my husband can work. But
Yeah.
I am a rebel and I want to go against that. And I've worked since I'm 17, so it's in me. It's part of who I am
Yeah.
to work and do
Yeah.
these things. But for the person who's struggling with that, Iris, what would your recommendation be?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that question. That was definitely a part of my story. When I was at home, certain people were happy that I was at home. And then I would be around the working moms and they would make me feel like I was worthless sometimes. Not
Yeah,
everybody, but some people. It's like, what do you do?
yeah,
Well, I'm the CEO of my home and,
yeah,
I'm a counselor, I'm a nurse, I do it all, I
yeah,
referee, because mothers are amazing, we do so much, but a lot of times, the way that society views us, even for leaving, for maternity leave,
yeah,
you wear a letter of shame,
yeah,
just for leaving, the job sometimes. And so we get it on all ends. And then when I decided to go back to work, the stay-at-home moms and the moms that, were staying at home with their children or homeschooling or whatever, they would criticize me and say, oh, you're not being,
yeah.
an attentive mom, or you're neglectful. And so I had many times where I cried. I think it's very important to watch our own self-talk. And I
Mm,
always say, and Gracie, you might have heard me say this before, if you don't fill in the blank before you leave your home or
yeah,
before you leave that space into this world, into society,
yeah.
someone is going to fill it in for you.
That's
So when,
huge. That's
yeah,
huge.
yeah, yeah.
I'm so
So
happy you shared that. That's so
yeah, we
important.
have to pause for the cause on that one. Yeah, we have to fill that in as mothers, for ourselves. And we
Yeah,
we have to say to ourselves, we are amazing. We
yeah.
give life. We have been blessed with that gift to give life. Yes. And every great person, even the people that criticize us, came from a mother, you know.
Yeah.
And so when I think about that, that is where I really found my voice through a lot of turmoil at first, but I
Mm-hmm.
just found that and I said, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is what I'm supposed to be doing in this moment. And this is the moment that I'm supposed to be doing this. And just really own that and embrace it, even and learn how to house the dual feelings that you have. You can be confident and yet, insecure. You can be ready and yet hesitant, so you can be ready to take it on and also fearful. And so it's very important to be okay with having all of those feelings at the same time and know that it is temporary. It will
Yeah.
not last forever.
That right there. Oh my gosh. In all caps, ladies. I think during one of our sessions, I remember you bringing that up and it just hit me like, duh, like absolutely. This
Yes,
mom guilt is on this side, but also the excitement of like, oh my gosh, my child gets to socialize and develop
yes,
and be
yes,
amongst peers, and I'm going to be
right.
able to go and work and then come back home and be a better mom and be a
Yeah,
better wife because I'm
yes,
fulfilled as a person.
yes,
And if I
exactly.
could just convey that to the moms who are watching and are in this limbo of like, what should I do? Oh my God, do
Yes,
it. Do it for you. I
yes,
think it's so
yes.
important, Iris. And it's just
Mhm.
like I can see a before and after in these past 3 weeks. And I mean, it's a
Oh,
short
yeah.
period of time, but it's been amazing. And I'm so glad that I
Yes,
had
yes.
you in support of that so that I could get over those doubts, because we do doubt. We want to do what's best for our kids, what's best for our families,
Yeah,
but we're new at this. This is my first kid. And
yeah.
I'm fortunate to have you to be able to share
Oh,
your
dear.
knowledge with those who are watching. And it's been a journey that's been made easier because of you. So I thank you.
Oh, wonderful. Well, it has been a joy to just be able to share whatever I can, and that's what we have to do more of that. Even this, what you're doing with your show, being a support to one another,
Yeah.
and making sure that we are our best advocates, right? And so I just love this and love what you're
Oh.
doing as well. Yeah.
Thank you. And I want to pause now for the ladies who are watching. If you have any questions, drop those in the comments. Iris is going to be sharing at the end of this video ways in which you can reach out to her. She's on all the platforms, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. And I'm going to also leave that in the show note description so that you guys can easily reach out to her if you have any questions. But she is amazing, as you guys have been able to see here. Anything else that maybe I've left out, Iris, that you'd like to share?
You covered so much. This is wonderful. I just have something I'd love to share with the ladies, to really remember as, mothers and women to really extend ourselves grace
Yeah.
and self-love. And we really have to be intentional about that, taking care of our mental health. I love
Mm.
that you're so open about that. I as well, and I use these as opportunities to advocate for that, just making sure, just drinking enough water, nutrition, move your body. Yes, yes, walk,
That's a
up the
good
stairs, down the
reminder.
stairs, park a little bit further away, when you go back to work or whatever it is, take your breaks and
Yeah.
make sure you can be fully focused at work, but also fully present at home, with your balance of work life, making sure that you draw upon your support systems, family, friends, and they can help out and just be flexible with yourself, and just remember this temporary and I can do it. It
Yeah.
can be done, And
Yeah.
so one thing I just want to leave with everybody is something I use. It's a growth mindset tool. So you've probably heard it before, but it says it's okay. It's okay to have a bad day. It's okay to not know everything. It's okay to say no. All of those little it's okay, I'm doing the best that I can and that's enough, so remember to speak, positively to yourself, and we are our best advocates in this.
That's beautiful. That's so funny that you say that. My daughter has developed this thing where she hugs upon a doll and she taps it and says, "It's okay, it's okay." So
Oh,
that's
I
what
love that. Oh my God.
it's hilarious to
Yes,
watch.
I
And she
love it. I love
I
it.
was like, if we just did more of that to ourselves, we'd be in a better
Yeah,
place. I'm
yeah.
very visual. And for that reason, I was like, I've got to find something tangible that helps the audience understand. And I thought of this. So we're mothers, we're wives, and we're being pulled in all sorts of directions.
Wow.
We're employees, we're daughters, I mean, all these things that we have to be. Sorry, I just had to include this.
Wow.
I was like,
Wow.
we're pulled in so many directions, but at the end of the day, we're moms. And like you said earlier in this video, is we can do it. We were born to do this,
Yes,
and
yes,
it's just a matter of showing ourselves grace, of
yes.
figuring out where to get those mental and physical breaks. And one thing that I wanted to leave the viewers with, I have a bunch of notes here, but tips that have helped me is like, I love multitasking. So if I can run laundry and get my dishwasher going while I'm with my family, I feel like, okay, I'm showing up in all areas right now, and it's that same hour and I'm getting everything done. Any practical tips that you might want to share?
Yeah, I like to tell people, there's only one way to eat an elephant, right? One bite at a time. So, you don't have to
Yeah.
do it all in one setting or
Yeah.
things like that. So that's where we're talking about having grace on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to do everything just the same. That's where we're talking about being flexible and less rigid, and that it has to be done a certain way, but
Yeah.
being open and reimagining how you can do things more efficiently.
Yeah.
We want to work smarter and not harder. So I
Yeah.
love all your tips, and I'm certainly a fan. And how to make things more simplified for yourself, so just be open to that, and
Yeah.
talk with other moms, or if you're in therapy, talk it over with your therapist, what have you,
Yes.
because you come up with some really great ideas, and watch this show.
Ah, thank you, Iris.
Yes. So, yeah, just, being open, I would say. We don't have to know everything, but we
Yeah.
do need to learn how to ask for help, I think, as
Yeah.
women and
Yeah.
as moms, right? We're just not socialized to do that. We're helping everybody else. But
Yeah.
we need to learn how to just ask for help too,
Yeah.
and be open to
Yeah.
that.
You know what's another thing that I've gotten really good at? This handy tool, if we don't
Mhm.
pay close attention, like I've got a calendar on here and I've had to grow comfortable with moving things. If I didn't get them done on Monday, then I'm
Yeah.
moving them to Tuesday. But before it was like, oh my gosh, I had a list of 10 to-dos and I only got through 5, and I would
Yeah.
allow it to get to me. And now it's like, okay, well, I can make that call tomorrow. Just
Yes,
get the important
yes.
things done, and whatever isn't pressing, move
to the next
Yeah.
day. And I think that's where showing myself some grace, like you've taught me to
Yes.
do, has really,
Yes.
really played a role.
Mhm.
And thank you for that.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Organizing things into, is this urgent? Is
Yeah.
this important?
Yeah.
It can wait,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be done all at once. So sometimes, yeah, just being mindful, being present, wherever you're at in that moment is so important. So yeah, that's so great. Yeah.
Another thing that has really helped me, and I'll share as a tip, is I love laying out Madeline's clothes and getting her backpack ready Sunday
Mhm.
night because she goes
Mhm.
to daycare Mondays
Yeah.
and Wednesdays. And just not having to think about those things early in the morning when like maybe I'm
Yes,
not fully
yes,
awake
yes,
really helps. In
yes.
my outfits too. Like I like leaving my work purse, my keys, everything where it needs to be by the front
I
door so
love
that
it.
I'm ready to shoot out the door in the
Oh
morning.
yeah, yes, I love that. Your life will be so much easier if you,
Yeah.
it's called preparation, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And that is another way. Thank you for saying that, Gracie. Set yourself up for success.
Yeah.
And the more you prepare like that, and
Yeah.
you want to be patient and flexible, but yet prepared,
Yeah.
also. So the more we prepare, couple that with our patience and all of those things, I think you set yourself up for success, and it's not as crazy.
Well, Iris, if you don't have anything else to share, I think the points that have been covered thus far will give our viewers, our mamas who are undecided on what to do, return to work life or stay at home. And we know, I mean, I've done it for the past 13 months of my life. Staying at home is a full-time job. There
Yes,
are no
yes,
breaks. There are dishes. There is
well,
laundry. You got to feed everyone. You got to wash up and clean. I mean, it's all
yeah,
day. That's why I say if you can get a break and go to work, that is your break. Go to work.
yes, right.
No, but
Yes,
I thank you once again, Iris. Thank you
yes,
for
you're
all that you do, for the
welcome.
beautiful soul that you are. And I am excited to share ways in which moms can reach out to you. You guys are seeing
Yeah,
on the screen now Iris's handles. If you have any questions, drop those in the comments, and Iris, I'm sure, will get back to you guys. But thank
yes, yes.
you once more. This has been
Thank
amazing.
you.
Far exceeded my expectations, but I knew you'd be
Oh,
amazing. And you guys, round of applause for Iris Person.
oh. Love you, and thank you so much for having me once again. You're amazing.
This was Iris Person on From Miss to Mrs. to Mama. Thank you so much, Iris.
You're
I'll pause the
welcome.
recording. That was awesome.
That
I was
was
thinking of
fun.
editing, but I think I'm going to do two versions. One I'm going to edit
Oh,
through, and then one
okay.
I'm going to let it run the entire
Okay.
thing.
I like it. No, I love it.
I
You're
know what I
great.
forgot to ask. So do we want to redo this in Spanish? ¿Hablas español, Iris?
Ah, sí. Muy bien. I don't know. Tú es excelente.
Thank you. Muchas gracias.
My broken Spanish. I speak Spanglish.
That's okay. I will do a voiceover in Spanish for all my Spanish audience.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, you have to play my Redeemer song on that one because it has Spanish in
I
there. Yes,
know. I
I'm singing a little bit
know.
in Spanish on that one. So
I will do
yes.
that. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Iris.
Oh,
I'll
you're
I'll shoot you
welcome.
both clips, English and Spanish, so you have them
Oh,
to
I
refer
love
back
that, and
to.
I will share it. I'm
Oh,
connected with a lot of Spanish speaking either fans or clients,
yeah.
and so they would love that, to have that option. So I'm definitely going to share, and I have some new mommies and people that I've been working with too. So I know
Yeah.
they will love this
Oh.
episode as well, and be connected with your show as well. So I'm gonna cross
Oh.
market and make sure
Thank
I'm
you
telling
so
people
much.
about you.
And I have to go
So,
and jump out of my suit and throw on my
okay.
mommy hat while I go
Uh,
pick up
All
Madeline
right.
from daycare.
I love it. I
Different
love
hat.
it. I
All the
love
hats
it.
we get to wear, but this is my favorite.
Yes. Yes. Well, thank you so much again. I was love seeing your beautiful face again. I feel like it's been so long.
It has been a long
And
time.
tell my sweet girl, give her lots of air kisses from Iris. Okay.
I will do that. Thank you so much,
Okay.
Iris. Have a great
Okay.
day.
Take
Love you.
care. Love you too. Bye bye.
Bye.
What did I tell you? I told you she's awesome. That's Ira's person. I know you guys gained from it. I have zero doubts. And all I can say is reach out to her if you have any questions. I really hope that this has been empowering to you. It isn't an easy decision to make. It comes with lots of consideration for your well-being, your mental well-being, your financial situation. You also have to consider your children's best interests. That should be top priority when deciding whether to go back to work or not. But as you gathered from what Ira shared, validate your emotions. It's okay to feel unsure. It's okay to be excited for the things that are to come. Those are all very valid feelings. And I think until I heard that, that's what prepared me to take the leap and find me where I'm at today. Day 2 of work, and I'm so excited to be back. I think my husband has also noticed this in me. I glow different. I'm happy, and I hope that you guys find yourselves in that situation very soon. So if you're ready to go from this to this, I hope this video helped. Love you, mamas. I will catch you guys on the next video.